How's it going, everyone? Ty Wisdom, and we're back again with another video. So I said I was going to sit down and kind of talk about this. Hopefully this time YouTube doesn't remove it, but I want to talk about life in general right now and how things have been, where my health is and where my goals are. And really, a lot of this, especially from the video about a month ago that, like I said, YouTube just decided not to allow it up. I may have said some things in there that weren't really allowed, but we'll start off with this. You know, for the past couple years, after I would say it was September when I released that video about me joining the afterlife, we'll say, and I was pretty much fed up with everything. I had no friends left from all the people that backstabbed me and thrashed everything. I ended up getting stuck in California. I ended up being homeless for a while, and roughly about the end of that year, my dad started having severe health issues. When I left my hometown, my dad's health immediately declined. I expected other family members to check in on him, check up on his health, and see how he was doing. Nobody was. Nobody contacted me. Nobody contacted him. He basically was just left alone. He's a type 2 diabetic. There was a couple times he fell, and things have only gotten worse these last couple years, to be honest with you. But he had a very severe decline in health, we'll say. He wasn't doing his walks anymore. He wasn't doing anything physical. He would just sit there on the couch all day. And if you know anything from older folk, the more they sit around, the faster they decrepit, I guess you could say. And it's been a lot of stress dealing with that. And really from all the, I guess you could say, like, trauma from previous friends, people that I considered almost brothers at the time, they fucked me over a lot. And it's kind of put me, like, and seeing all the damage they did to the house, seeing all the damage that they did to me personally, all the stuff they stole, all the false rumors, the reputation that they fucked over on me, just because it's just, I don't know, man. Like, everyone's in their 20s, but they live like they're still fucking in middle school. And yeah, so I spent really just a couple years just being 100% recluse and not talking to anybody. And see, I'm a really kind person, and I'm usually really giving, but that generally always leads, and I'm so stupid for this because I always yell at myself for being kind. And you don't want to be kind. You don't want to be caring for people. You want to be selfish. You want to be just focus on yourself. Like 100%, nobody gives a fuck about you. I just want to make that clear, because at the end of the day, anyone who's nice, anyone who cares about other people is going to get taken advantage of, 110%. And especially in my hometown, I don't think there's anybody that's like genuine. A lot of people are just out for themselves, even like in other genres of like entertainment, you could say, like the card game community, sports people, people at stores, people that just go to the bar. They're all the same here. Like, that's what was so nice when I left. There were such different people, and it was such a better environment, but I couldn't find anywhere to live. So we ended up back here, and then that's when I found out about my dad's health. So I've now been spending basically the last couple of years doing everything I can to help him out. And he's suffered melanoma really bad on the top of his head, so they had to carve out a bunch of his head. His diabetes has gotten 10 times worse. He's gained a lot more weight. I'm still trying to cook the proper meals for him. I'm trying to have, but there's only so much you can do as a son to help somebody, you know? Like, there gets to a point where you have tried everything you can, and what else can you do, type of thing. There's only a certain amount that they want to listen to. My dad is a person that is very sensitive, very, very sensitive, like very sensitive, and he gets overwhelmed extremely easy. I would almost say like autism a little bit, but not quite there. And so, like, when I suggest things, he shuts it down or shuts himself down. Like, it's been really hard to work through that. I'm gonna be honest. It's just and then what happens is, one step at a time, things just keep getting worse. Like, you keep being like, here, let's take this step forward. But by the time we take that one step forward, 10 other things have gone wrong. And that's literally been my life for the last, like, few years now. I've not been able to get into a positive point where I feel like I'm happy waking up in the morning, where I feel like I'm energized anymore. Every day is just 100% struggle for survival. Just survive. Do everything you can just to not think of bad thoughts. and just survive. Like, it's not even really focusing on my health anymore. It's not really trying to go out and do things. Like, I've been burned so many times, it's hard for me to really trust people to become friends anymore. So, like, a lot of new people I meet, I can pinpoint things right in a way. Like, there was a few peeps that came over for Magic a couple weeks ago, and I told them I made some content videos, and obviously I'm not making anything big enough to make money off of or anything like that, but that's how they took it. The next week they came by and they're like, man, well, we should sign an LLC together. All three of us get into a business, and all the content you create, we can split the revenue 3 ways. And I'm like, oh, wait. Do you guys make your own content? Like, do you guys have your own channel? Like, what's up here? Like, are we going to start collaborating? Like, I'm excited if we got this. No, they've never made content in their life. They've never even been on camera. One of them has like a microphone. And I'm like, wow, so I just met you guys. And the first thought is, how can I get money from him? Oh, he makes content. There should be some money involved in that. Let's split it. Let's figure out this split. I was so disappointed after hearing that. I was just like, oh, okay. And I sat with it for a few days. I kind of just thought about it, and it was like, okay, what was the different angles of this? But no normal person, after you first meet them, starts demanding money business type things like that, unless that was your first goal in the first place. I mean, it's just really shitty people around, man. And like, a lot of these people, I don't hate them, but it's just disappointed, and I knew to not put people onto a friend pedestal, I guess you could say. Like, friends definitely need like a good 6 to 8 months of incubation, kind of like in that acquaintance state. And I'm a person that's like, oh, bro, you're so cool, we're brothers now, that kind of shit. And I'm stupid for that. That's dumb. Don't do that. You'll always get burned. You'll always get screwed over. People will always start trying to fucking manipulate stories and fuck you over. It always happens. And it's not just me this happens to. I know a lot of people that are very similar like that, explain their stories through therapy groups and just other online videos and stuff. So it's really interesting because I relate to that so well. I don't know really what else to do kind of for my mental health. I've done everything in the self-improvement category, and like improving your health and all that. And really what's really interesting is a lot of that stuff, actually, if you thin through all the, buy my course, gotta go buy my course to figure out how to sell more courses. No, like, you avoid that, but actually pay attention to the YouTubers that break down like muscle growth, proper workouts, like health habits, eating, that kind of stuff. I mean, at the majority of the day, you don't need super advanced techniques to lose weight. You don't need crazy dieting restrictions to lose weight either. It's really just paying attention to what's more natural, staying away from chemicals, and just putting in the work. Like, I lost from 212 pounds in less than 6 months. I was down to 170. That was last year. And still, while I was doing that, I was struggling very bad with my depression. I was struggling because I was, at that point, still like used to having people around and still hanging out with people and stuff. So I was very alone. And I tried to go out to the bars and meet people, and you meet people that are cool and you think you're friends, but at the end of the day, man, a lot of people are just alcoholics, and they don't even remember half the shit they're out there for, man. Like, especially in my town, just a lot of people are just druggies and alcoholics. So it was interesting, and once again, kind of a shame, because certain people, I'm like, oh, they're super cool, I can't wait to hang out, let's go do stuff, like they talk about, oh man, let's go camping, bro, let's go set up a fucking some shooting range, or let's go fucking to the lake, let's go to the ocean, let's go do this, oh yeah, tomorrow, bro, let's go do this. And you hit them up and they're like, who are you? Like, bro, were you that drunk? Like, what the fuck? We have videos. You check your camera roll, Just kidding. But, at the end of the day, that kind of stuff, like, I've now almost became more okay with being alone than interacting with people. It's just, man, I still struggle a lot. And I actively fantasize about the afterlife, and what may come after this. As someone that doesn't really have much joy waking up, that doesn't really have motivation anymore, that doesn't really have anything else going on for him, I'm surviving legitimately just to help my dad out. And then once he's gone, I plan on exiting that same door, like the same day or the same hour as is, like, there's nothing for me after this. There's no purpose to me. There really isn't much to look forward to, relationships and all that. It's just a bunch of bullshit, you know. I've come to terms that, like, I've dated quite a bit. Not really dated, I guess I should say. I went out on dates. Never actually long-term dated someone for the last, like, 3 or 4 years. My last relationship, I was traumatic too, you know. Like, I dealt with an alcoholic that was, it wasn't physically abusive because I'm a bit bigger, but she would destroy my stuff. She was 20 at the time, so I had to supply the vapes and supply a bunch of the stuff. And if I didn't, it was just like aggression and breaking my stuff and throwing tantrums. And yeah, I had to deal with that into a point where I was finally able to separate myself from that. And yeah, like, honestly, every other person I've gone on dates with, some were cool. You know, I vibed with some of them, but at the same time, I'm like, how is this long term going to be? Well, what do? Oh, I make TikToks and I go to the gym. Okay, well, do you go to the lake? Nah. Well, do you go out and enjoy festivals? Nah. Okay, well, what music do you listen to? Just whatever TikTok's playing. That's like the responses I get so frequently now. Nobody's interesting. Everybody's just fucking dumb and lame. And it's so stupid because I have a lot of, like, you know, little hobbies and shit I do. But nobody, it's just I don't know. It's just like every girl I interact with, they don't do anything. They just, or they do OnlyFans type content, which is pretty much in that same category of making TikToks, working out your body to sell your body. It's disgusting, but I mean, that's basically all women do nowadays. And as much as it's fun going out on dates and stuff, I feel like it's just a waste of my energy. I feel like I would rather save up my energy and hopefully falsely manifest, or whatever the fuck they call it, just kind of push that energy into hopefully finding someone that's going to be legit in the future and being able to be clean for it, you know? Too much of this world is based on how much people you screw, how many, you know, how much is your marker, etc. And I think people really lost the whole part of you need to communicate. You need to have those connections. You need to be basically friends first. You know, you have to have that friendship first. But, you know, if you're not very interesting, I'm not going to be friends with you at the fucking gym. Like, it's going to be too creepy to talk to you at the bar with you and like 6 other friends. So at the end of the day, like, you have to find girls that are friends and build into a relationship to have that proper relationship, or it's just going to be a quick screw and move on, which once again is super fucking easy. It's easy to get laid. I think that is really the saddest part of our generation. Like, I could spend a week going to the bars and little things like that, and I could get laid. You know, it's super easy. MILFs, goth girls, fucking, but none of them want anything more than just that. Like, they're usually drunks. They just, like I said, record videos, or they just scroll all day. Some of them don't record videos, and all they do is just scroll. And I'm like, well, do you want to go out to eat? Nah, I'm just gonna sit at home. I can order DoorDash. There's just nothing of not entertaining out there. There's nothing of connections, really. Everybody's too afraid to communicate with each other, especially after COVID. And yeah, I've had a lot, and I hope that this video actually makes it out. I really didn't go into detail about the other stuff, just mainly afterlife things, and I think that's why YouTube was like, nah, that's a little too sus on the offing of yourself. So I think this should be a little bit clear. I really do struggle every day, and I enjoy making content for you guys. It is kind of one of my peaceful moments of being able to sit down and relax, unless the game's kind of fucked me over, and then it heats me up a little bit, but it's not really the game. It's just like, fuck, just other mental stuff, you know. And I always feel like I have 10,000 different things always going on in my head. So a lot of the time, yeah, it's interesting. Like, I noticed it on that last StarCraft mission when I spent 6 times trying to beat that mission, man, and I went through a full crash. I didn't release the episode. I only released the first fail of that. But I went through a full crash out, dude. I just let it all out, man. I didn't, like, cry, but I was yelling, raging, complaining, letting it all out, man. And then that's when I made that afterlife video. And so this one's going to be called Life. And I hope you guys did enjoy. I mean, well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you got some information out of this. I just really had to come on here and do kind of like a one-take thing like I did with the other video. Excuse me. I struggle a lot, man. And I hope that even if you're struggling, that the best thing we can do is just to keep pushing on. Focus on what you can do that's positive, and just live another day. I've tried 5 or 6 times to exit this world, we'll say. And every freaking time, I've been forced back. So there's obviously something keeping me here. I have no idea why. And I just got to the point where I'm like, okay, well, it'll take me out when it takes me out, right? Other than that, though, I got a couple of other videos going to be coming here soon. I'm going to get back on some gaming. Just been dealing with, like I said, all the health issues. My dad's had his melanoma. He's got more melanoma on his nose. He's had heart issues, the diabetes stuff, and it's just been countless things of a lot of stress. And, you know, I've been seeing therapy groups and stuff. I've never really been too fond of therapy when I was younger. I'm just going to wrap this up with this. Therapists have never helped me. I've seen high-end professionals. I've spent a lot of money. I've seen free ones. Ironically, the free ones have been a little bit better, to be honest. But at the end of the day, I listen to a few YouTubers that talk about therapy, and they're like licensed and stuff. And they say there's certain people that just can't be helped through therapy. They have so much stuff in their life that is going on that therapy doesn't even scratch it. So that's where I worry that I'm at. Do I have nowhere else to really turn? Is this pretty much it? You know, I like I said, I still enjoy making videos though, and I'll still be around until I kick the bucket. But love y'all, and make sure you guys like, subscribe, go check out the links down below in the latest in the Wisdom world. We got Diablo Classic that we've been running through, Classic StarCraft, and the World of Warcraft Classic, man. We're going through some old school games. We got some life updates that are going to be coming along. We've been working out, though, still, so we've been losing weight. Like I said, we're doing what we can to stay positive and focus on the positive things. Because if you go full negative and you shut yourself down, like, that's truly it. Your body will give up on you. Everything will shut down, and you'll be in a way worse spot. So try to hold on, man. That's the best thing I can say. And fuck, let's get it. Peace, everyone.